Welcome to Helping Hands. This is where we recognise the positive contributions of the people who make the world a better place. Coming up today...
Some people know everything about tools and some people don't know anything, but they just really love lending out tools and helping the community.
The positive impact of a tool library.
The rate at which they're exposed, it's just so constant. We talk about the 10 p.m. trap.
We talk about young people and mental health, and we invite you to connect at helpinghands.tv. Across Australia's cities and in our urban areas, there's a growing trend to declutter our homes and hold on to the things we actually use. If you're like most of us, you might use a power tool once or twice a year and have it lying around gathering dust or cluttering your home. The Inner West Tool Library in Sydney started as an idea to save people needing to buy tools they will hardly use, and has brought about many social benefits to its members and its local community.
I came for the tools and stayed for the people.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Amy. I'm the founder of the Inner West Tool Library in Sydney. The Inner West Tool Library is just like a normal library, but it's a library of tools and other useful things that people can borrow like once or twice a year. It means they don't have to go out and buy these things. They can come in on a Saturday morning, pick up a ladder or, a pressure washer, and they get to take it home and use it and bring it back, just like a book library.
Fantastic. All right, well, you're good to go.
Yeah.
And
can I get a rake as well, please?
a rake. Oh, okay, sure.
Really proud to be part of, what's going on here with the community vibe and not buying unnecessary sort of machinery. So yeah, I think it's sort of love to support.
So Laura's helping you out or something? Yeah.
A number of years ago, I did sort of like an outdoor furniture making workshop and realised I wouldn't mind doing this myself, but I need the tools to be able to do it. I didn't want to have to go out and buy all these things that I'd probably only use once a year. So I started looking into how to access tools and came across tool libraries. And there wasn't one in Sydney, so I thought I'd better set one up. So it's really, I guess, about having the access to those things that you need, but you don't actually want to have to go out and buy the thing. That with the yellow one. Okay, cool. Let's go have a look.
I'm leveling a caravan.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want is something that like clenches onto that.
Okay.
That I can then turn.
So a big clamp.
Yeah, like a clamp.
Sounds good.
Yep, got my trolley jack, got my clamp.
So here in the tool library, we've got obviously tools, as the name explains, but we've got a whole bunch more. So we've got, power tools, there's gardening equipment, we've got camping gear, cooking equipment, we've even got a stand-up paddle board. It's all of those things that you don't really need to have in your house, and you might only use it once or twice a year, like a lawnmower as well, very popular for lawnmowers in here.
What we've got here is basically we've just got a bunch of shelves. They're numbered and lettered, and we keep track in our computerized system of exactly what shelf each tool sits on, and so they are roughly grouped according to sort of function. So here we've got some circular saws, here we've got some routers, but yeah, there is no existing system that we can use to sort them, so we've just got our own system.
When we have people coming in, often they don't really know how to use certain tools, and we say, okay, that's fine, we're here to help you out. You don't have to be an expert in tools at all. In fact, that's one of the things that we're trying to encourage here. It's for people to try on new jobs rather than necessarily have to get a tradie for everything. We don't just supply the tools, we try and supply some expertise as well.
So I bought a bicycle trailer, and it has this kind of hitch that attaches on, but I've got nothing to attach it to the rack. So here's the goal.
Oh, okay, here we go.
This goes here, and then this is the thing that attaches to the trailer,
Okay.
and that needs to attach to that bracket.
Okay.
The holes in the bracket are too wide.
Just general suggestion is like bolt it on one side first to work out where the other hole is going to be when you need it. So I think that one should be a good start.
Yeah, great.
Give it a shot.
Really excited about the bike trailer. Then I can come and pick up heavy things from the tool library.
After the break, we'll be back with more from the Tool Library.
There's such a great team. There's such a great team of people.
It's just really exciting to be in a space that's so interested in sharing knowledge within the community.
Oh, sure. I'm Cribbo and I'm a volunteer, so I come in on a Saturday and loan out the tools and bring them back in and put them away and, you know, just answer any questions people have. I'm not a tool ninja, so I don't know how all the tools work, but I can help do all the rest of it.
So the Tool Ninjas are primarily here to help people. So give advice to people when they come in and ask how they might go about something, or just make sure that people have picked the right tool to do the job.
I'm Phil. I'm a volunteer here at the Tool Library, and I've been here for pretty close to when it first started a couple of years ago. Right now, I am putting out an item for Sivanand. This item is a hole saw set, so this is for cutting holes. It's an attachment that you can put into a drill, and then that'll cut a nice shaped circle out of a piece of something, possibly a piece of timber. This item happened to have just actually come in from someone else who just returned it, and now it's going out again, which is cool. It's great to see things coming in and just going out. There's so much stuff being used all the time.
The great thing about the NOS Tool Library is we don't have a typical member. We have anyone from the ages 18 up to 80, and it's a pretty even split between male and female, and it's all sorts of people, just someone who just wants to come and mow their lawn, versus people who really know construction and they might be doing up their own home, and they come in and borrow 7 items a week. So we have no one typical persona, I guess, of who comes. It's really anyone who needs to use anything from the library.
Write people's names next to their tools so that if we're busy when they come to collect it, they can just grab and go.
Hi, I'm Tiffany and I've come to pick up the pressure washer. I'm going to pressure clean a driveway cement thing. No idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out.
Reuse, reduce, recycle, that's them, yeah. Because people who borrow equipment are reusing it. It has been recycled, and it reduces the amount of products that are in the environment. Because I borrow stuff from here, I don't need to, purchase it.
Yeah, it's so fun. I feel like part of the joy of joining the library is to see all the different things that they've got, try different hobbies, and everyone here is so friendly. They'll definitely tell you how to use it and if you're going to use it wrong before you make that mistake yourself.
People come to us for advice about how to actually do things. That's just super fulfilling, and that's one of the things that kept me coming back. So I started my journey 4 years ago, shortly after we opened, and I was here every single week. So it was suggested that I might want to volunteer, and I did it, and I haven't looked back.
My name's Josh, this is Patrick and Henry, and we're here to pick up an electric lawnmower to go and tidy up the backyard today. It's great for the community. We come down almost every weekend to pick up a different bit of kit to tidy up the house or the backyard. Lots of members of the local community pop down here on the weekend. There's always a good queue of people trying to pick up various bits and pieces. It's great service and it saves us having to buy it all ourselves and maintain it all. We can come down, have a chat to the team on the weekends and use what we need.
My favourite part was pushing the button and letting the gas get cracked.
So the Inner West Tool Library is open on a Saturday morning from 9 till 12. We've got a team of about 25 volunteers, and they might only sort of volunteer once every 1 or 2 months, but that, it's still really nice to have them along, and everyone enjoys coming along to the Tool Library to sort of hang out with the other volunteers and meet members from the community.
Mr. Tyndale just brought this stuff back, and I'm just looking up right now where to put it back in the shelves.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, they were a new member. They just came last week, signed up while we were here.
Oh, great.
Went shopping, and came back today to drop off their stuff. So, yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is a drop saw for the customer that was looking for a drop saw to cut their Venetian blinds, and I am seeing if we can put this fine finishing blade on to replace the blade that's on there, and currently I'm struggling to find the right key to go into the slot here to take off the old blade.
There's such a great team. There's such a great team of people. They are really, some people know everything about tools and some people don't know anything, but they just really love the concept of lending out tools and helping the community.
I really love focusing on the community work that we're doing. So in addition to these workshops, I'm trying to establish communications with the Merrickville Community Gardens, and they also have a workshop space and might be interested in. It's just really exciting to be in a space that's so interested in sharing knowledge within the community.
If you are a helping hand or would like to see a helping hand from your local community featured on this program, visit our website and be in touch. We'd love to hear about the people and organisations across Australia who are making the world a better place.
It's wonderful to see how Amy's desire to meet a need has brought about a community of like-minded people and the financial, social and environmental benefits as well. Visit the Helping Hands directory on our website to find out more about the Inner West Tool Library. Welcome back to Helping Hands, where we celebrate the people who make the world a better place. Our panel today joined Laura Bennett in the studio to discuss young people and mental health.
Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us. On the panel with me today, we have AB Kokodia, who is a Professor of Counselling. We've also got Katie Kobler, the Director of Your Choices, and also Kieran Scaria, who is a Twitch live streamer and also known online as Pastor Scar. Thank you all so much for joining us. AB, I want to start with you. What are some of the most significant mental health challenges you see facing young people these days?
A lot of anxiety, just wanting to belong. Lots of people have more access to technology, yes, but at the end of the day, there is that need for wanting to belong. And with that comes a few other issues, you know, around just stressful thoughts, you know, and managing those stressful thoughts. And then that spirals into anxiety and depression for some people. So those are really at the, you know, just the cusp of it.
That sense of wanting to belong, what drives that?
Again, I think it's that awareness and exposure to what everyone else is doing or what they perceive as what others are doing. And where do I fit in, you know, self-image. We're thinking about, you know, how do we look? How do people perceive us? And then they have all those stressful thoughts and then it spirals down. And then if it's not managed, then it leads to other mental health concerns.
And Kieran, you're working with young people right in the online environment that so many are in. What sort of things do you see contributing to these kind of mental health concerns?
Yeah, I mean, I think similar to what you said with the visual side of things, like how do I look and that kind of thing. The beauty of the online mode, which we operate in, is that there are viewers that will jump in and know that they could literally have COVID. They could have the worst hair, they could have a massive pimple on their forehead, whatever it is, no one else knows, no one else cares. Yeah. And it's like, just be yourself, have conversation and do that. So for a lot, that can be a struggle in a lot of contexts, but they kind of get to leave that at the door almost when they come into that online live stream environment where everyone is just a screen name, whatever screen name you want to be, and you can jump in and have that dialogue.
Katie, for you, what do you think the influence is of things like social media, screen time, on this kind of, I guess, weight that so many young people can be carrying?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think we talk a lot about the kind of content that young people are exposed to, but I think that what possibly deserves a little bit more time and attention is the rate at which they're exposed. It's just so constant. They're falling asleep. We talk about the 10 p.m. trap, this time of night that actually is so important in just clarifying thoughts and considering the day that they've just lived and the day that they've just walked through. And so often they're engaging online in that moment, and then it's also the first thing that they do. Research also shows that they're checking their phones throughout the night, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m, 5 a.m. Definitely it can be really challenging for them.
Yeah, I would also chime in with the, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term doom scrolling, but literally being up at night and just being on whatever app it may be and just mindlessly scrolling and losing track of the time. And so many people find themselves, not even just young people, but of all ages, in that mode where because of the stressful day and the anxiety and all that, they're like, I just want to zone out. And what they think they're doing is zoning out for 5 minutes. I'll just scroll for 5, and then next thing you know, it's 1 in the morning, it's 2 in the morning, whenever it might be. And then they go, wow, that just happened. And then it's this repeat. It's the next night, same thing again. The next night, the same thing again. Therefore, sleep schedules get affected, which obviously affects all kinds of health things at the same time.
And AB, how do we bring a bit of intentionality to the way we use our devices, the way young people use their devices? If you're realising that you've got, that check comes to mind where you go, I've been on this phone to 2 a.m. now, how do you get your brain to click out of that and get back into reality?
From my experience and what I do with clients is I say to the parents or even to the young people, yes, you've got the apps, you've got the access to the to technology. It can work for you. Services such as Headspace and other platforms offer the option where you can actually have some kind of, you have the downtime, you kind of get the music on and you get the exercises on where you turn on that particular app and helps the kid actually go to sleep. Some mindfulness around it and kind of lessens the anxiety levels. It's worked for my kids. It's worked for some of my clients. There's all sorts of apps out there, all sorts of services out there where you can kind of flip it and get the technology to work for you, in my opinion. So it's not all bad.
It's good you point that out, that the technology that may be causing some of the challenge can also be part of the solution too. Like, we don't want to totally write off the use of devices in young people's lives, because I'm imagining, that doesn't really work. Are there any things that you would suggest, practically, that could also be of assistance?
We really do encourage parents to lead the way of not, having the boundaries around spaces and times. And so time of day, and so one of the big things that we encourage young people, and young people are taking this up all on their own, is to keep the phone out of their room. Make that time before bed and in the morning sacred time. And so setting those kinds of boundaries, and I think parents really play a huge role in helping their kids navigate that.
You flagged something I want to ask AB about, the examples that young people look up to. How important is that, the people that they model their lives from or get influenced by?
I like that question, because I would say to Mrs. White or Mrs. Brown or whatever, you're asking your kid to get off their device and you're sitting there scrolling through Insta or whatever during dinner, or not listening to them when they're trying to, can just unpack about the day. So it's important for us as, as parents or older people to say, listen, this is what you should be doing at this time, or we're not, jumping onto devices at this time. But they're going to mirror you. So it's what we do, the kids would be doing as well. So that's my sense of it. I don't know what the others think about it. It's really hard, because that's the world we live in now, and everything's online. You have to order your food online, do your banking online, and we try to multitask. There are times I forget myself and I'm like, I need to do this banking real quick, or I need to respond to this message real quick, but we have to pull back and go, what can the kids see and what kind of example are we setting?
Yeah, and there's absolutely so much more conversation we could have around this, but thank you all so much for joining us, really appreciate it. And thank you guys for joining us as well.
If there's a topic that you'd like to see discussed on Helping Hands, visit our website and be in touch. We love talking about the things that make the world a better place.
What do you think of some of the comments from Kieran, Katie and Professor Kokodia? And what can you do to foster better mental health habits? Join the conversation on our social channels via helpinghands.tv. Being aware of the challenges young people face today and the impact these can have on their mental health is something that we cannot ignore. For parents and carers, it's important that we're prepared to do whatever we can to foster healthy mental, social and spiritual habits for the young people in our lives.
Let us know about the Helping Hands in your local community at helpinghands.tv. Send a photo or a short video and tell us about your local heroes in 25 words or less.
Thanks to Kieran, Katie and Professor Kokodia for joining Laura in the studio today. Thanks also to Amy and the volunteers at the Inner West Tool Library, and thanks also to you for joining us today. I hope you will join us next week here on Helping Hands.